Okay, let's get to. We got the Peach Crew. We got a caller. Let's see who's on. We got Debbie, Dooley, Brittany Brown, and Cooper Whitmire. Right. So Debbie needs no introduction. Let's uh, let's let um, let's let Cooper introduce himself. Go ahead, Cooper. Tell us who you are.
Hey, John, thanks for having me on today. So, my name's Cooper Whitmire, and I'm the Southeast Regional Manager for Turning Point Action. So, I know a lot of people here obviously know about Turning Point, but I work for the action side of the organization. So, we're a 501c4. So, we're active in all of the swing states and battleground states. So, Georgia, North Carolina, Arizona, Nevada, Michigan, Wisconsin, all of those states, and we work 365 days a year around the clock, having a full on the ground field team in those states, doing things like organizing precinct chairs, building out our coalitions, and things like that. But thank you for having me on the show today, sir.
So, do you? I'm going to Indianapolis this afternoon, taking the bus there. I understand you guys have got a big rally in front of the Capitol. We're going to hook up with you on Saturday.
Yes, sir. So I won't be there, but our enterprise director and our Great Lakes regional manager, they're organizing an event there in Indiana at the Capitol. Our team has been making calls and sending email to those Indiana senators all week, encouraging them for the 9-0 redistricting. So we'll be holding a big rally there this weekend, and we're super excited about that.
Hey, when we get off, just text me their two contact information. So we have the Trump bus there. I want to be sure that we coordinate with them.
Yes, sir, we'll do.
So do that for me, Cooper. Who handles Washington D.C.? Who handles the district?
So for Turning Point Action, we're not active in Washington D.C. right now.
What?
Yes, sir. So like I said, we're active in those 7 or 8 swing states right now.
You're not active in D.C.?
So
Debbie,
Turning Point USA is having a presence on like the college campuses and the high schools, but as far as like organizing the get out the vote events and things like that, we don't have an action presence there right now.
very disappointing. You need to get one ASAP.
Yes, sir.
I'm on the executive committee here. We need the help.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'll get in touch with you on that. All right. Also with us, Brittany Brown, First District GOP Chair. Brittany, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I am also the chair for the fifth largest county in Georgia as well. So I'm kind of doing double duty. I worked for the Trump campaign all last year. So been heavily involved in politics in Georgia and just really excited to be here. Thanks,
All
John.
right, let's get to the first district. I met for the first time. I met Mike Kingston last night at an event. Jack Kingston's son running for Congress.
Jim Kingston.
Jim,
Yeah.
right? Jack's father. So
Yeah.
Jack and Jim were there. I've been a supporter of Jack's for many years. Good friend of mine. We did CNN together. Um, we were Trump surrogates on CNN, and we're in a small club of Trump surrogates who got fired by CNN because they were too good.
Wow. Hey, today is Brittany's birthday too.
Oh.
So happy birthday,
Happy
Brittany.
birthday, Brittany.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us, let's get right into that first district race. Buddy Carter, obviously running for Senate, vacated seat. I know that crazy lady's running down there, whatever her name is. What about Mike Kingston? Tell us about some of the candidates.
Well, Jim Kingston obviously is Jack Kingston's son. He grew up in the district. He has lived in Atlanta, moved back to run for the seat. We have Candace Taylor, who was the first congressional district chair before me. She is running. She's from Akron County. She's got a lot of GOP support. And then we have a guy named Matt Day who has announced, we're not really sure if he's going to qualify, but he's out of McIntosh County. And we also have a guy named Pat Farrell, who's been a county commissioner here in Chatham County for 20 years. He's running. And then we have another guy from Chatham County who is retired military running as well. So we have kind of a whole spread of candidates, and we'll see if anyone else jumps in and who qualifies. But we're definitely candidate heavy, and the way that Georgia works, it's really anyone's game because of how the runoffs work here. So it'll be interesting to see how they split the vote.
Who do you predict? Give me the top 3 that are likely to make the 2-person runoff.
Ooh, I don't know. Pat Farrell is pretty well known in Chatham County. We have the most votes. It depends on how much work he does in these smaller counties. Obviously, the Kingston name is very well known here. He will do well. And Candace Taylor has a lot of name recognition as well, especially in these smaller counties. So I think those are my top 3 for this race.
What do you think, Debbie Dooley?
I think Jim Kingston's going to win. That is my guess. Jack Kingston was a great congressman. He was a friend of mine. I supported him when he ran for Senate some years ago. I think if I had to handicap it, I would say that's going to go to Jim Kingston. Will win.
I met him last night for the first time at an event, at a Christmas party event. I was very impressed with him. He's very articulate. He was very cogent when I, talked to him a little bit, concise. And he's got the name, so I would think that's got to give him a leg up, right? The Kingston name.
And the interesting thing's going to be if Trump gets involved in that race and issues an endorsement. But if he does, I think he will endorse Jim Kingston.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's always had a good relationship with Jack.
Yeah.
And of course, I was for Jack in the when he ran for U.S. Senate, and supported him in the runoff as well, where he got defeated by David Perdue, who's now ambassador to China. Big job. But I go back with Jack a very long time, back from my Atlanta days, back to the Beacon days, and I thought he was just extraordinary. And I used to see him. Obviously, we were on CNN at the same time back in the day before we all got fired. Well, you can't have anybody on there now. Tell us a little bit about Debbie. I saw some poll that came out the other day on the governor's race. Looks like Burt Jones was significantly ahead. Tell us about that.
Well, unfortunately, that was not a scientific poll. You had a young man, Cooper Jacks, that took it upon himself to run the poll, and it was nothing scientific or anything.
So it isn't scientific. So then forget that. I just glanced at it. Tell us about the state of that race now.
I think Burt Jones has the juice in this race. He's got a great team. They are really working hard. One of the people running his campaign or helping with his campaign as a consultant is Chip Lake. And I told Chip a long time ago, if I ever run for elective office, I'm going to call you as a consultant. He does a great job. And so I really, I think Burt has the juice. He's going to win. And just wait until the upcoming legislative session begins. They're going to tackle things and push things like ending the state income tax and all that. That's all part of Burt's agenda.
Can you guys get redistricting there and steal another seat?
No.
Why? Because
Governor Kemp, said no on that. And I'm sure he had his reasons, but no, we're not going to go through redistricting. Georgia it's quickly becoming it is a purple state, a swing state. It's rapidly becoming that. And you don't want to jinx anything or anything in the midterms. So I just don't look for Georgia to do redistricting.
Got it.
It's a different situation here.
Got it. So we got Debbie Dooley. There's going to be no redistricting there. Okay. Let's take some phone calls. Phone lines open for the Peach Crew today. We've got Brittany, we've got Debbie, and we have Cooper with us. Let's get to Alex from Georgia. Alex, you're live. Go ahead with the Peach Crew.
Hey, good morning, y'all. All right. So, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Excellent. Thank you. So I actually had a question for Miss Debbie, and Miss Debbie, I met you before. You're a real nice person, and we're both Bama fans. So obviously, I'm not
Roll
trying to,
Tide.
have any hatred towards you. Roll Tide. Thank you. Um, but you made some comments the other day that I wanted to kind of ask you about because
Okay.
you said, in regards to the whole Jaquan Stembridge thing, you shared Shelley Winter's sentiment that God is coming for those who quote unquote targeted him. I think, I don't know if you were trying to imply this, but you made it seem like he was being set up or something like that. And I just want to know why you would think that, because it seems like a legit sting operation. It sounds like it's kind of like, to me, it looks like you're covering for him, saying like, acting like, say for example, the folks who got caught on Chris Hansen back in the day, that they were victims of a sting operation that they got set up. So I'm just wondering what your sentiment was behind that.
That's a
Is
good,
this
that's a good,
Bastion?
that's a great question, Alex. Go ahead, Debbie.
Is this Bastion? Uh, Number one, I have never covered for Jaquan. I have gone on the record saying he should have stepped down. I don't know how many times I have to claim that, but everyone is considered innocent until guilty. So we don't know everything. But I made it clear I deplore pedophiles. I deplore anything like that. And I also deplore racists and anti Semites, like your good friend, Brad Barnes. I mean, this guy.
Well, he didn't bring up Brad Barnes. Alex, this isn't about Alex. Alex asked you a direct question. He didn't bring up Brad Barnes. His affiliation is not relevant to the question he asked. Answer the question.
I did answer the question.
Okay. Then what you didn't answer is when you say God will come for those that were behind this. What
I
did you
never
mean by
said
that?
that.
Oh, okay. So Alex, she never said that.
Bastion, I never said that.
All right.
So
I
Alex,
don't know who
where
that
did you
is.
hear me say
And
that, Bastion?
is
I
this
saw it
Ashton or
online.
Alex? Who is this?
I was just asking you a question about it because I saw it online. I wanted clarification on it. If you didn't
Okay.
say that, then that's my mistake. I admit that.
No, I
But
never said
it
that.
seems,
All right. So
Shelley,
you wait. Number one, I got a pet peeve, Vashton. Don't do a false first name. I don't care if you don't give your last name, but don't say your name is Alex when your name is Vashton. So right there, I'm done. Right? Just say your name. If you're going to call on the show, you know Debbie's name,
yeah.
you know Cooper's name.
who are you talking about?
Who are you is your name Alex or Vashton? What is your name?
Alex, sir. Alex.
Then who's
That's my
Vashton?
name.
Who the hell's Vashton?
I'm not sure who she's referring to. That's not me.
All right, that's coming up on your caller ID.
Yep.
I don't know why. I'm not sure why. That's my name is Alex, and that's the name that's on my phone.
Okay, well, for some reason your number comes up of the name Vashton Smith. So maybe you should look
There
into
must be
that.
some sort of mistake on your end.
Alec Vashton, whatever your name is, you might want to look into that. But Debbie says she never made the remark that you said. So unless you can show us that, then I'm going to take her word on it. Okay. Thank you for the call. All right. Whatever your name is, thanks for the call. He says it's Alec, but comes up Vashton. Maybe you got a phone, somebody else's phone. But today's technology, just like give your name. I never ask for a last name. Here's what we ask for: name and city. That's it. First name, like Joe, John, Harry, whatever it is. Sam, it's fine. Just give us your first name, so we're not talking to a phantom. And it is what it is. Okay, so Debbie, this Hojicon thing. very unfortunate.
Yeah.
And we have laws, and I think you made the comment innocent to proven guilty. I mean, we have a knee-jerk reaction now in this country. You get indicted on and tried on social media. I didn't really delve into this. I glanced at it, got a couple texts from people that weren't his fans. You know who they are.
Yeah.
But unfortunate because he seemed like a nice young man, but you can't do what he did. If he did that, and he's an adult, you can't do that.
But he immediately stepped down.
Right.
When it all came out, he immediately resigned. He took responsibility. He has a lawyer. And I mean, there was actually, I don't even know if there was, I mean, it was all a fake profile and all that, like a sting set up. Did he make bad decisions? Absolutely. And he should have stepped down and he should have resigned. And that's absolutely what should have happened. But I never said that. Shelley Winter commented under my post, one of my posts about it, but I have never said that. And unfortunately, some of the folks out there that are involved with a movement that I don't have anything to do with are just making things up.
Well, so that everybody knows, Shaquan was the secretary of the Georgia
Assistant secretary.
Assistant secretary, but he was on the executive committee. Young fella, maybe 2019, over 18.
19.
19.
Just turned 19.
And there were allegations that he was. What were the allegations?
That he solicited sex from a 14-year-old. When the conversation began, the person had on there they were 18. Then he told Jaquan he was 14. This is, what I have heard. I don't mean it's absolutely the truth. And then there were no police around, no sting operation. We also have the reason a lot of these folks are making a big deal, these people that follow Fuentes, is because there was a guy named Brad Barnes. He was appointed as special assistant secretary to the chairman. And 2 weeks ago, it came out that he was involved with the Nick Fuentes movement. He was making racist and anti-Semitic comments against the Jews, praising the Holocaust on his Twitter X feed. He was outed. It was all over the news, and he has not been removed yet as chairman. It took Josh did a great job with Jaquan. Josh McCoon immediately addressed it and did this, but it's been 2 weeks, and he has not addressed the Brad Barnes or removed him. And that's wrong because the Republican Party is a big tent. We welcome all races, all religions, and that's who we are. We're not going to win with just a certain segment, a racial segment of voters. We've got to have a big tent. Everybody's welcome, and I think that's it.
So, Brittany, you're a county chairman of the Republican Party of Georgia. So this young fellow Barnes, who is an assistant to the chairman, Josh McCoon, has not been removed. Some of these texts came out in other parties with some of these young people getting involved in saying things that are, like, I'm not a part of that, and kind of shocked by it. And they were removed immediately. I think there was somebody in New York or something. Why is this young fellow Barnes still around?
I wish I could answer that. I'm not entirely sure. I have not spoken to the chairman about it. I've not spoken to Brad Barnes either, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that. if in fact he is being anti-Semitic and saying things he shouldn't, he should be removed. I will tell you, the younger generation is definitely getting more aggressive than we've seen in the past. So I think that that's something that the Republican Party also needs to realize as well, and making sure that we're guiding them to channel that aggression in the right direction.
It's a good answer.
Yep.
I mean, I just, I don't know I don't know what the deal is with this guy. What's his name? Fuentes. I just don't know.
Nick Fuentes with Groypers or something.
Whatever.
They've been harassing the young Republicans here in Georgia too. And they are doing this. This Brad Barnes, I mean, his friend, when I spoke out against him, his Nick Fuentes follower friends started attacking me, attacking me for it and making statements that,
you know what, we're facing the midterms, which could end Trump's presidency in its tracks. And you got a major governor's race there. You just lost 2 PSC seats, and I've heard all the excuses, blah blah blah. Right, I heard them all. They're all actually, the excuses were boring. They were boring excuses, not even interesting, boring. Right? You guys got your ass kicked. The thing is in disarray all over the country. I mean, Cooper, why on earth are we spending time with this nonsense? Can you help us understand this as a young person? Like, I read some of those texts. I just couldn't believe what I was saying. I mean, I certainly, my kids don't think that way. Never would, never will. What is going on here?
Yeah, John, you're exactly right. And that's why, us as the Republican Party, we have to learn to do one thing that the Democrats are better at doing than us, and that's working together and not attacking their own. Not just here in Georgia, but in, around the United States, especially in a lot of our swing states, we had a lot of divisiveness going on in the party. And that's why us at Turning Point Action, we're just focused on doing work in these swing states, especially with my job personally here in Georgia, and working with everyone and making sure that everyone comes together in an effort to win in 2026. That's why we're working with people like Brittany. She's the first district chair. We're working with all the district chairs throughout the state, all the county Republican Party chairs in our over 80,000 K counties, in an effort to make sure that we can take that Senate seat back from John Ossoff in 2026. Yeah. So things like this are just a distraction. And, I really don't have time for them. Our organization really doesn't have time for them. We're just here to do the work. That's recruit people to be precinct chairs. That's registering voters. That's organizing people to get out the vote and knock doors and target low propensity Republicans. So we're just here to do the work. And that's what we're doing with Turning Point Action every day here in Georgia. So it's very discouraging when things like this pop up, because all some people have time to do is argue in Signal chats or be in Twitter spaces all day. Whereas our organization and a lot of our good district and county GOP chairs like Brittany, we're on the ground doing the work that matters.
So, Brittany, this Fuentes nonsense, this is a fringe. This is on the fringes of the fringe, right?
Yep.
I mean, you can't you go any more on the fringe and they fall off the face of the earth. This is the fringe of the fringe. And my theory on this is they have been promoted by clickbaiters that want attention and serve up ads. And they're also promoted by the left that wants to sow discord and make people think this is bigger than it is. This is the minuscule 1/1,000,000th of 1% fringe of nobody. Why does this guy get all this attention?
Because I think we feed into it. I mean, here we are talking about him when he's doing so much damage. I think the more you ban him, the more you take away his ability to talk, the more people are like, why are they banning him? He must be telling the truth. He must.
What happened?
Brittany just dropped. Okay, let's get to the phone lines when Brittany comes back. Let's get to Charles on a Georgia mayor runoff. Charles, you're live with the Peach Crew. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Just wanted to get their input, their take on the the loss
So
of the
I don't
incumbent
know.
mayor.
I think that we
Wait.
put a lot of attention on him, and I think he's just going to continue to grow if we keep giving him the airtime. And I think it's also pushing young men somewhere because they're angry.
How does the anger turn into Fuentes and some of the things that they're saying, which are horrible? Brittany, how does that anger manifest itself into some of what we've seen?
Uh.
Brittany, all right, she's gone again. All right, Charles, go ahead. Charles, say that over. We're having some technical issues. Go ahead, Charles, about your mayor's race.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted the Georgia Crew's input, their take on the loss of the incumbent at the Roswell mayoral race. It was rather surprising for a lot of us.
It wasn't for me because Fulton County and including Roswell are becoming more and more Democrat. I moved up to Forsyth County, Cumming, Georgia, a few years ago, and I can tell you there are a lot of the more conservative folks in Fulton County. Many of them are moving like to Forsyth County where I live, and they're leaving. But let's look. So I was not surprised about Roswell. I was, however, surprised at the depth of the victory for the mayor in Sandy Springs. Rusty Paul, he was former Georgia GOP chairman, staunch Republican, but he ran a bipartisan race and he won in a landslide. It was a tremendous victory. And I was really surprised at how big he won.
All right, Rusty Paul, longtime Republican. These are nonpartisan elections, but everybody knows kind of where they are. So big victory in Sandy Springs, which is very, very big in further towards the perimeter and towards Atlanta, for those that don't know the terrain. Roswell, where I lived for a long time. I was there a long time. That's both of our youngest kids went all the way through high school there. So, and one of them was born there. My daughter was born there. We were already there 2 or 3 years. So let's see, 18, we must have been there 22 years in Roswell. So, so who won that race? Charles?
Confused though, if the Sandy Springs mayoral race went in our favor, why would the Roswell race not go? And the mayor's been doing a pretty good job by all accounts.
So was the mayor like a Republican because it's nonpartisan and the challenger was basically a little liberal? Just give us a quick overview, Charles.
The mayor is Republican for all intents and purposes, though, as you say, they're supposed to be nonpartisan races, and the city council is supposed to be nonpartisan, but it's an open secret as to who's who. We just lost 3 city council seats to the other side, and now we just lost the mayoral race. So Roswell is done as far as we're concerned, because now it's 3 council seats, 3 and 3. The mayor is the deciding factor. He's gone now. And we have this former Democrat congresswoman is now mayor of
Who's that?
Roswell.
Who?
Mary Robichaud, I think her name is.
Oh yeah, that's right. She got beat in a runoff. By the African American lady when they were both
Lucy McBath.
Yeah, McBath beat her in the 7th, right? Back in the day. So interesting, very interesting. Well, you can't get more Democrat than that. Shows you got that one nailed. The last mayor I remember there was who we backed. Anna and I backed her the first time was Councilwoman Lori Henry. and then she got beat when we backed her. Then we moved out somewhere, and then I think she ran again and won, and then got ousted. So been a lot of turmoil there, but Roswell certainly changed from when I went there in the 80s. Let's get to, but thank you. Yes, Mary Robichaud defeated Mayor Kurt Wilson. Okay, got it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Boy, that's a very liberal city now. Good luck. Glad I'm out of that. I left all the bad places, right? I left Roswell. I left Virginia. It's all good. Let's get to. Thank you, Charles. I think Charles's question was, How'd they win? Well, because I don't know, the Democrats are there, and the thing is changing. But yet you got a super Republican winning in Sandy Springs, so that doesn't make any sense either. So maybe people in Roswell were just pissed off at development or something, or maybe that was there a particular issue there?
There was some issues regarding trees
Yeah.
at an historic site at Mimosa Hall. That was something of that was, I think, largely fabricated, because if they want to use the hall for tourist purposes, people have to have a place to park. So the trees had to come down. That was a lot of fall, I think, over nothing. But it managed to get a lot of people nice and excited. The thing about development is that the current mayor came in because the previous administration had allowed huge amounts of multi-family housing
Was that
all over Roswell.
was that Lori?
especially
Was
East
that
Roswell.
Henry? Was that Lori Henry?
Yes, that was under Lori Henry, who also had an interesting debacle with Oxbow Road, costing millions of dollars that magically vanished into the ether.
All right, we got it. We got to move on. We're getting too much in the weeds, guys. Thank you, Charles. Oxbow Road. You just bringing back memories. When we backed Lori Henry, she ran on a platform of stopping the development. That was her platform, right? She ran against Jerry Wood back in the day. Enough on that. Adrian in Richmond, line 2. Adrian, you're live.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, John. I wanted to have this thing about Fuentes, and let me lay down the tracks real quick. I went down to Texas, visited my family for about 2 weeks, my son, and did a lot of stuff, caught up with family, and I got to tell you, just about everybody in my family is a liberal. It just blew my mind. So with that being said, I still love them and hung out with them and all that. My son, I'm going to tie all this together. My son is technically Jewish from his mother's side. And so hanging out with these a couple of new cousins I haven't met and all that. They're a little young. They're probably between 17 and 25 years old. And we're driving back home, and it's just me and these 3 young guys, and we're driving, and we went out to eat and all that. And one of them start talking about Trump and all such. And one of them says, yeah, he's the president of the United States of Israel. And they threw me back, and I said, what do you mean by that? And he went on to explain to me and all that. So my point is about the Fuentes thing is they were all fans of Fuentes, and not like diehard fans, but they mentioned it. And it kind of threw me back again. I'm sorry to say that again, but I was just kind of shocked on what they were saying. Nothing bad or anything. They were all young, good men. They worked. They're going to college. I mean, just very nice young men, but just different ways of looking at life. So I asked them, I said, what attracts you to this guy? And they said because we're all about, we as Republicans talk about stop sending money here, here, and here. Why is Israel always the exception? I told him I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. I don't dig deep into it. I don't get involved in the politics of Israel and Palestine. It's really, to me, it's just a war, just like Russia and Ukraine is. I got to be quite frank with you. And I'm tied into it with my son, as far as him being Jewish. And so he decided to be a Christian and practice, but, whatever. So with that being said, that's the problem is when you guys are giving him a platform, this Fuentes guy, and I'll finish up with this, but you guys are not explaining why he's wrong. You can call him an anti-Semite, you can call him all that, but it's not working. And my point is, these young men, I'm not saying they're die-hard fans, but you as Republicans, I'm an independent now, but you as Republicans need to explain to these young men. You can't just say he's an anti-Semitic. You're doing the same thing what Democrats do to Trump. Oh, he's a fascist. He's this, without any explanation why. Just because he said something 10 years ago, from what I understand, you guys hold it against him. Maybe he was a dumb young kid or younger and dumb, but he's mature and evolved. I don't know. I don't know much about the guy. The first time I ever heard about him was through you, John, and then I heard him through another podcast. So I don't know much about the guy other than what I hear from you guys. So just take that into consideration. Again, these 3 young men, nice young men. I've got to be quiet with them. They didn't seem like they were violent or ugly. I'm sorry that they attacked Debbie. Debbie got attacked with some of these guys, but we all know there's bad apples in every group. We can't sit here and say like we're Mr. Goodies when we're not. Republicans, Independents, Democrats, they all have baggage. So explain to the young man, you guys, why this man is bad and stop calling him names. I'm just not attacking John, just pushing back a little bit. I love you, bro. You know that. But I'm just pushing back and letting you know you sound like Democrats when you're attacking this man. Just saying it. You don't have no explanation. I'll let y'all talk. Thank you for taking my call. I got to get going.
Let me.
Well,
and then
let me tell. I appreciate you
and then
calling in.
I'll go to Debbie.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling in, Adrian. But here is the thing: racism is an evil institution, and we should not, under any circumstances, normalize it or anything like that. Anti-Israel, if a candidate is anti-Israel, they won't ever get my vote. And my thing is about the racist, it's just like, I don't look at someone's pigmentation. I look at the content of someone's character to determine whether they're good or bad. Racism is wrong. You have a generation.
The bigger issue here, Debbie, we all agree with that.
Yes.
The bigger issue, and I talked about this during the 7 o'clock hour. There is a movement.
Yep.
You can't deny this, okay? People want to deny and put their head in the sand. You're going to lose. There is a movement of young people in this country, Zoomers, 18 to 25, and I know a lot of them, who voted for Trump in 24, who are now moving away from MAGA. And they're moving away for one reason. They're sick of our support of Israel. We're a protectorate. They're sick of it. They're sick of the whole thing. They're sick of the emphasis on it. They're sick of hearing about it. They're done with it. And this is real. I mean, you can sit there and say, I'm pro-Israel. You know I am. I know you are. But I'm giving you the facts here because I'm in a world where I talk to these kids a lot. And the movement against Israel, not against it, they just want out. They're just sick of it. And everybody chafes at this and everybody gets mad and they call it anti-Semite. It's not anti-Semite. The kids that I've talked to, they're not anti-Semite. They're just sick of Israel. It's like the kid that's told Adrian, Trump is now the president of Israel. They're sick of the obsession with it. They want to move on to how they're going to get a job. And that's, I think, where we're losing our young people because of this issue. And it's undeniable. Debbie, it is. We can put our head in the sand and make believe it's not there, but I'm telling you, it's undeniable and it's getting bigger.
I think also you have to consider that when young people are having a hard time, buying a house, doing the things that you guys have enjoyed, and the younger generation is really struggling more than ever, and we're sending money overseas, it's very frustrating for them because they're like, when is it going to get better for us? We voted for you because you're America first. What happens to us? How are we going to get there? There's not really a plan for them, and they're getting frustrated. And it's not really fair to Trump, but also we're all depending on one person to solve everything for us. And I think that that's the other problem that we have as Republicans as well.
And I agree with that, but they need to be, when you go out and you celebrate what happened, the extermination of 1 million
that's
not all of them.
That has nothing to do with what you're talking about. A couple of whack jobs, okay, that are anti-Semites, and the guy you mentioned, Nick, whatever his name, being one of them.
Fuentes.
I'm talking about the greater movement of Zoomers that are sick and tired of what they see as this country's obsession with the state of Israel. And it has become an obsession. I'm not taking a position on it.
Right.
I'm just telling you what Adrian just said. Adrian, if you're still listening, I've heard that in the last 3 months, at least 50 times from 50 different people, 18 to 25. They're done. And you have to understand, we got them involved. The MAGA movement got them off the couch. We got them involved. So now they're involved. And now they go to different media outlets and they're sick of it. And that's why they voted for Mandami in record numbers. We got to wake up here. This is just reality.
John, look.
You're right, Adrian.
No, look, I'm not attacking Debbie. I think Debbie's a very kind person, but the first thing she did was start calling him a racist with no reasoning behind it. I don't know. I personally, as a human being, don't know what this man has said or done to be a racist. What has he done? You can't just call this man a racist and I'm supposed to believe you. You show me the facts. I mean, did it happen 10 years ago? You know, we
No.
stick up for Trump when he says, well, no, let me just say this. We stuck up for Trump when he said something about women, 20, 25 years ago. We stuck up for him and moved on. Why can't we do this with this young man? What did he do that's so bad? I don't know, Debbie. So tell me, explain to me why he's a racist.
Because he
I'm not sticking up for the guy.
celebrates.
I want to know.
Wait, but all you have to do is go to his post. It's anti-black, anti-minority. Anybody comes in this country, oh, it's anti-this. That is racism. You don't look at pigmentation to judge the content of someone's character. And that's what he does. He looks at skin pigmentation. And then when you celebrate the Holocaust like he has done, then that is horrible too. Don't tell me that's mainstream. Now, we do need, I will remind folks, yes, these young people today are, they want somebody to follow. They're blaming everybody else for their problems. But I will remind people,
that is not true. They're not blaming everybody. They're not true. The Zoomers in this country are not blaming everybody else for their problems. They voted for Trump because Trump promised a better future, a better opportunity, and that we're not going to vote for Harris and Biden, who are not giving them any. They're not blaming anybody. I mean, come on, Debbie. All right, let's get to.
I was talking about Fuentes, John.
Chris in Pennsylvania, line 3. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's so funny that I just called in for the Nick Fuentes thing because, I heard what Adrian said, and he's totally right. And I'm 37 years old. I'm a little older than these younger guys, right? But here's the thing. He's not anti-Semitic for asking, why do we keep giving the country of Israel, money? Why do we keep doing that? That's not an anti-Semitic thing. It's why I'm asking the same thing. Like, we have enough crap going on here in our own place, like America first, right? Not Israel first. Even like Marjorie Taylor Greene, everyone hates her, but it's like all she was doing was holding Trump's feet to the fire. Like, why we do this stuff? Like, and if you ask it, oh, you're anti-Semitic. Like, no, it's not anti-Semitic to ask, why does my money go to a country that does nothing for me? They give us nothing. For years we've done this. And then every representative has an AIPAC representative, and they don't have to register as a foreign lobby. Like, you don't see something wrong with that? People are bought and paid for. We don't like that. And on top of that, he's not racist. What Nick Fuentes is saying, he is for people, white person and white person get together. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that? It's just like saying a black person together. He said he's personally would marry a white woman. And what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. That's not racist. He's not a racist man at all. He's a big fan of Kanye West. He loves rap music. He's not racist at all. Like, so all these things Debbie's saying, she's way off. Way off.
No, I'm
and
not.
You have Mark Levin.
No,
yes,
I'm
you're
not.
way off. You're not a young man. You have no clue. No clue.
Yeah, no, I'm not. He is a racist. He is a racist. And Mark Levin has posted on his site 10 minutes of Fuentes being a racist. When you celebrate the extermination of the Jewish people, when you celebrate racism, when you talk about blacks, when you post cartoons talking about blacks, that's wrong. That is racism. And I will remind people, I grew up like John, John and I are the same age. When we grew up, we're growing up, there were a lot of hippies, pot smoking hippies and yuppies and all of that. And you know what happened? As time went by, they became hardcore conservatives and Republicans. So as people mature, they change their political, their political leanings. And that's what happened. I do see the frustration in young people today that you can't get it's hard to get a home. It's hard to get a job. And your college education, for the most part, it depends on what courses you take or move. I don't have a college degree, but my ex-husband had a 2-year degree with a master's degree, and I made about $20,000 more a year than he did. So those college degrees don't necessarily mean anything.
There's Debbie bashing the
Racism
college degrees.
is wrong.
Debbie, you can't be bashing the college degrees. Let's get to.
I'm not, but I'm just saying.
Oh,
But also, the
Debbie's
people of
against-
these generations were
Debbie's
told you had
against-
to have a degree to
Debbie's
do
against
anything.
college.
So also, we've been victims of the whole college scam
Right.
that we've all seen. So, I mean, there's plenty of blame to go around, but, you know, I think it is more challenging for people getting out of college today than it was
I agree.
20, 30
I
years
don't
ago.
think there's any doubt. But to our caller's point, Chris in Pennsylvania, I mean, the people are saying, why are we give this money to Israel? I mean, my view on this is changing. I can tell you that. Everybody knows where I stand on Israel, but it's changing because I'm looking at these midterms, and there is not a 20-year-old that I talk to that is sick of Israel. Not one. Maybe Cooper would be one. Maybe I'll find some in Indianapolis. Can't find any here. All right, I got one more call. Let's get to Joe in Oregon. Joe, close us out with some sanity. We got to go, Joe.
Yeah, well, they just elected a Jew hater, a Israel hater there in New York City. The guy's a complete embarrassment. Now is not the time to switch away from Israel. And there is plenty of evidence of Nick Fuentes being a neo-Nazi, Hitler-loving idiot. All you have to do is look it up. Well, the guy is obviously a racist. Why anybody would defend that idiot? He almost killed the Trump presidential run right in the crib before it even had a chance to get started. So, there's really no argument about that. And that's all I got to say. Thank you.
When in doubt, go to the Pac West for some logic. Joe, thank you. Thank you for closing us out. I mean, we're out of time, but there's two separate issues here. There's the one issue, which is real, which is Zoomers that voted for MAGA are sick of Israel. That's just real. I mean, you can argue it till you're blue in the face. That's real. We're all seeing it. And we got to acknowledge the fact. Second issue is this Nick, whatever his name is, guy. I mean, if you looked at the Levin montage, I mean, a lot of stuff this guy said is just racist.
Yeah,
it is what it is. I mean, so there's Fuentes, who's in my mind an idiot and a racist because of what he said, and then there's the movement away from just. And it's not that the young kids are anti-Semitic. I talk to, they're just sick of it. They just want Trump to focus on getting them a job and helping America because that's why they voted for him. And all we do is talk about Israel, and they're sick of it. So I get it. I get that. But the guy is, I mean, look at that. Tyler, play that montage tomorrow morning, that Levin montage when I'm in Indiana, because that thing is, I mean, the way Levin put it together, that's pretty bad. I want to thank the people. Wait, we didn't hear it at all from Cooper, and I'm not going to see you this week. So close it out, Cooper. I'm way over my time, but go ahead.
Yeah, John, thanks for having me on today. If anyone would like to get involved with Turning Point Action and find out how to learn more about us, you can go to turningpointaction.com. And that's all I have. Thank you.
And Cooper, tell your powers to be to start a Turning Point Action in Washington, D.C.
Yes, sir. I'll relay the message.
What are we, chopped liver? I mean, you kicked us to the curb, man. It's not very nice, Cooper. Not very nice. Tell your people in there, you talk to Fredericks, and he's like, like we got kicked to the curb, like we're nothing. We have a real part. I know we only get 7% of the vote for Trump. We actually have a party. Unlike Virginia, where you have no party, there is no party. We actually have a Republican Party. So you guys should come here, hang out, build a little organization. You got a bunch of students here. Help us out.
Yes, sir.
What do you think, Coop?
Sounds good.
Well, otherwise, we're sicking Debbie on your sorry butt. You don't start one. She'll start putting out social media stuff. Debbie, help me out. I want Turning Point Action in DC. You help me out,
Turning
Debbie?
Point Cooper, please, please.
I'll do what I can.
Help them out. Have Turning Point. Have a chapter in DC. John could probably find you some young people.
Oh yeah, baby! I got him coming out of the woodwork here. You would be shocked. The young people going to college here in DC that are Republicans. You'd be shocked.
Yeah,
So,
Patrick
I'd
Leahy
help
going live.
Georgetown.
We got to go. George Washington University. There's a whole bunch of American universities, a bunch of colleges here. I can see them from my window. Anyway, best Peach Crew ever.
Roll Tide, John.